what's in this, acid? No, but that is one disgusting cup. When's the last time you, ew, what is that? It's like gunk in there. Ew. Ew, it just went, you're not gonna drink that, are you? Well, yeah. Relax. Relax, bro. A little bit behind on schedule, I would say. Since everybody wants to escape 2020, ahoy! Escape for a moment and climb aboard, matey, as we adventure off into the universe of Ron Clements and John Musker in Disney's movie Treasure Planet. And yeah, I put as many comments in there as I can. If your comment didn't make it in there, I'm sorry. Comment on a different video. Spoiler alert. Duh. Even though Treasure Planet came out before Lilo and Stitch, they both came out the same exact year. And Lilo and Stitch kinda stole the spotlight from Treasure Planet. And Stitch was also such a monster, he even snuck into the movie Treasure Planet as well. If you look closely, you can see him on the shelf in Jim Hawkins' room in a space costume. Disney has the reputation for using the color green as a map for you to follow on your little adventure to discover who the villain is, or who the danger is, or where the danger is. Just like in Little Mermaid or The Princess and the Frog. I've talked about this before, I know you know. Treasure Planet is no different. The closer they get to the treasure, the greener everything gets. Even the planet is mostly green. And Ben the robot, if you look closely, he also has green eyeballs, signifying problems are coming around the corner. Or in this case, through the door. But after he finds his brain, his eyes turn white and the green is gone. Just like the pending doom has already come, and now Ben is part of the solution instead of being part of the problem. Ben can't be that terrible though, because Ben is a Disney fan. And we know this because when they're on the RLS Legacy, he's singing the pirate song that was sung in Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yo ho, a pirate's life for me.
Yo ho, a pirate's life for me. I love this song.
But that song actually originally could be found on the Pirates of the Caribbean The Ride at Disneyland, before the movie came out.
We kidnap and ravage and don't give a hoot. Drink up, me hearty yo ho. Yo ho, a pirate's life for me.
Speaking of the ship RLS Legacy, in case you didn't know this little fact, for the making of Treasure Planet, Ron and John, the directors, they were inspired by Disney's classic film, Treasure Island. And more specifically, the book called Treasure Island. And if you want either of those, I'll put a link for them in the description. Ron and John gave credit to the author of the book though, Robert Louis Stevenson, by naming the ship after him. Robert Louis Stevenson. His legacy. Because it's his legacy.
Oh, Jim, this is our ship, the RLS Legacy.
Then if you watch when Tim is swabbing the deck, you will see a subscribe button. We just hit 500,000 subscribers. Thank you so much. I couldn't do it without you and sharing these videos with your friends. Thank you. I'm glad you like the show and I'm glad it makes you smile. Ron and John are also the ones that we can thank for the original Aladdin. And we can also thank him for other Disney movies like Princess and the Frog and many, many more. And if you haven't seen all those secrets, I'll put them in the movie description. Check it out after the end of this video because we got a lot more to go. One of the secrets that Ron and John put in Princess and the Frog was rug from Aladdin. In Treasure Planet, Jim has a rug in his bedroom. And no, it's not the exact same rug like Princess and the Frog when they're beating the snot out of it on the balcony. But it's very close to the actual rug, including the little yellow/gold tassels on the corners. And I'm gonna let you decide if you think it's really an Easter egg. Or not. But it probably is. And if you say it's not, you're probably wrong. Ron and John also like to put themselves inside their own movies, and that's what we call a cameo. When they're asking for directions, you can see the directors, Ron and John, right there.
Second berth on your right. You can't miss it.
Also, you can see me on Cameo. Also, if you look at the chest that held the map to the Treasure Planet, but if you spin it around a little bit, you'll see it says Ron. If you're a fan of the classic Star Trek, then you may recognize this Star Trek joke.
Dang it, Jim, I'm an astronomer, not a doctor.
I'm a doctor, not a performer.
Dr. Doppler is an alien that was modeled after a dog. And at the Bin Bao Inn, he eats out of a dog food bowl and a dog water bowl. That's also why he mentions Alponian chowder.
My Alponian chowder with the extrasolaris seed.
This, of course, is a reference to Alpo dog food. Ironically, even though Captain Amelia went through several design ideas in pre-production of the movie, she eventually landed on a cat-like design. Ironically, at the end of the movie, her and Dr. Doppler made a litter of puppy kittens, or kitten puppies, or pup tins, or kit peas. I don't know. On the subject of dogs and cats though, morph that little weird thing, whatever you would call it, I would call it a flubber. That creature was actually created with the inspiration from a puppy and a lava lamp. And maybe flubber. But really just puppy and lava lamp. I made up the flubber part. But I'm probably right. When Jim sneaks back onto the ship to retrieve the map, the pie in the face is a reference to the Three Stooges, who are one of the ancient fathers of slapstick comedy. And the poke in the eyes was also a callback to the Three Stooges.
Get out.
Remember how Treasure Planet was made basically based on Treasure Island? Well, the opening of the movie involved an inn called Admiral Benbow. Not a coincidence at all though, in Treasure Planet we start our adventure in the Bin Bao Inn. Obviously giving credit back to the movie / book. Survey time! So we have Stitch from Lilo and Stitch obviously in the movie. But do you remember Pleakley? Well, he's an octopus alien with one eyeball and he likes to dress up in women's clothing a lot. So today's question is this: the little alien in the movie that wants more perp juice.
I know, refill on the perp juice. Coming right up, Mrs. Dunwoody.
Do you think that's Pleakley from Lilo and Stitch? Because I kind of think it is. Another moment that Ron and John preserved from the original movie was how Jim found out that good old Long John Silvers was actually a pirate who was secretly planning to take over the ship. And how did he do that? Well, he did it by going into an apple barrel and eavesdropping on other people's private conversations, being a little snitch. Then at the end of the movie, spoiler alert, Long John Silvers manages to escape with one of the lifeboats, and young dumb Jim offers to help him out. Just like in Treasure Planet, Jim helped John Silver get the lifeboat underway. Only Mr. Silver this time shares some of his loot that he had with little Jim. One detail worth pointing out about John Silver, besides the fact that he's a mix of hand-drawn animation and computer animation, is the fact that he started out the movie with striped pants and then magically went to a solid color. This was actually to show mercy to the animators that had to draw in all those stinking little stripes. And it saved a lot of time, and they spent way too much money on the movie, so they had to save time because time is money. To test the idea of combining computer animation with hand-drawn animation, they made a test from old Captain Hook footage that was used in Peter Pan, the original Disney movie, to see how believable it would be mixing the two together. Jim's clothes also changed colors though, but this time it wasn't to save time and or money, but instead it was actually premeditated drawing, to show how he developed as a character as he grew throughout the movie. You get to see how he started off with a hard heart and was dark and cold. And as he grew as a person, he became lighter. His shirt lightened up, and then he lost the jacket, till the grand finale where we last see him, his entire uniform is literally white. Now some people would say that this is just copying Treasure Island, and Ron and John, the directors, would agree with those people, because it was copying Treasure Island. This was their creative version of a pirate story in Lost Treasure, only this time up in space. But there's another movie that Treasure Planet seems to have a lot in common with besides just Treasure Island. What movie is that? Well, that's a good question. I'm glad you asked that. The movie is Wizard of Oz. Watch this. Dorothy wanted something more and searched for an adventure, only to find happiness was in her own backyard. Then we have Jim. He felt like he needed an adventure, but then at the end, he just wanted to go back home. Then we have Tin Man. He needed a heart.
No heart.
And John Silver, he also needed a heart. And they both got one. Then we have Scarecrow. He had no brains.
I haven't got a brain.
Then we had Ben. He had no brains.
Lost my mind. I've lost my mind. You haven't found it, have you?
And they both got brains in the end. Then we have the Cowardly Lion. He wanted courage because he was a coward.
You're right, I am a coward.
And Dr. Doppler, he wanted to be courageous or go on an adventure and like, rawr, have some manliness or whatever. And they both got it at the end. Then the witch refused to turn from her evil ways to the good ways, and she died. Of course, Cooper, he also refused to turn from the evil ways, and he died. But that's probably just a coincidence, right? Once we find the treasure on Treasure Planet, we learn how Captain Flint was able to get from one side of the galaxy to the other side of the galaxy instantly. by using a teleporter. But if you watch in the beginning of the movie, they gave us a little hint as to how he was disappearing because you can see the green flash at the very last second before they cut the scene. Hey you, if you enjoyed today's video, help me make more videos by clicking the like button and helping YouTube know this video needs to be shared with more people. And you can share it with your friends to help bump it along. So until our next adventure, let me know what movie you want to talk about next. And remember, most importantly of all, let's share a smile. They are contagious.
Hey, share a smile. They're contagious. Can you imagine a day without smiling? That would be outrageous. Thanks for stopping by.